This is Hot to Prospects, where we discuss how to turn your lead generation into a burning inferno. Ryan Smith, the real estate farmer. I know you've got a lot of experience with the farming, and that all stems from what?
Being a community expert, in my opinion. It's not self-promotion. I talk about it all the time. I don't like the agents that beat their chest and talk about how great they are. It's about the community and being community focused. Yeah, exactly. So the shift for a lot of agents is that mindset into how do I be the community ambassador and the expert in the community? And if you're willing to do that, you can have an amazing opportunity. So I know you've coached a lot of agents. Have you seen a difference between an agent who's community focused or just self-focused?
Yeah, I think that's the difference is like the guy who only is interested in the transaction and the guy who's interested in the relationship. And I think that's another way of saying that thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I think when you shift your mindset into being community-based and being an expert in the community, it allows for way more opportunities for you to find things to do. And I've seen agents all the time come to me. I'm sure you see the same thing. Is they'll be like, "What should I do? I don't know what to do. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this." And they name the 3 things or 4 things that we should be doing. They said, "I want to do that," and then they say, "Well," they kind of run out of ideas of what they should be doing. And in my experience, when you shift from real estate just transactionally based marketing to community expert stuff, it just opens an entire world of things you can do. And that's where you start to get creative. That's where agents start to be able to find some passion in the business if they've lost it. I know for myself, that was for me, I was kind of burnt out. I was 7 years in the business and I had lost the love for the day-to-day grind. And
the thrill is gone.
Exactly. It's like a loveless marriage, and I had to reinvigorate it. And I did that through community-based prospecting, community-based farming, because it got me so excited about doing things that I was passionate about and being able to have an impact past just the transaction itself. And that's, I think, the key to it is thinking outside of real estate and having a plan in place to get you through that. And real estate just becomes a byproduct of what you do.
Yeah. So what's the basis of this? I mean, how do we get started with that?
Yeah. So I've, like I said, I have 2 kind of beliefs around positioning yourself correctly is being an expert and an ambassador. And the ambassador is the kind of the brain part of it. Oh, sorry, the heart of it. It's the warm and fuzzies. It's the people know that you care about the community. And when you become the ambassador, it helps you shift how you do it and why you do it. And it connects to people on a different level than just the, hey, I want to do a transaction. And then the expert level is the brain side of it. It's the mind part of it. It's the, hey, this person knows what they're doing. They're the expert in this area. They're the expert in whatever topic or whatever it is you become an expert on. And those 2 kind of work well together. You need kind of the heart and the mind to work well and connect with people. So one of the things that I think agents should be doing is becoming that expert in their area. And an easy way to do that is to focus on things to do in the community. And that can kind of hit in different ways. But you have to be active and you have to want to do it too. You have to have a true passion for that. So I'll share just a quick story of my own. So I moved and I started a bunch of times in my business. And I moved. And the second time I moved for love. I followed my heart, not my mind. And I started over. I didn't know anybody in the area. I didn't know anyone. It was about an hour and a half away.
Well, you knew your love.
That's exactly. And that's all I knew. And I knew that I wanted to do fun things. I wanted to go out on dates and I wanted to find out what's going on to take her out and have a good time. And so I was like, well, there's not really one place that has all this kind of information in one area. So I started a blog called 52 Things to Do in Durham Region. So that's the area I was in. And I was like, hey, I'm going to find out. I'm going to do something I'm passionate about, something I'm excited about. I wanted to take her out, wanted to do things.
Can so this is once a week, by the way, for all of you mathematically challenged individuals.
Exactly. I laid it out once a week. I highlighted something to do in the community. It was selfishly selfless. I use that all the time. I wanted to find out things to do. And then I'm like, well, this can help me get connected in the community. So I went out there and started highlighting a few local businesses and things that were happening. And what happened was within a very short period, people started positioning me as the expert. So I went from the ambassador for the area because I was helping support local businesses to then I was the community expert going, well, you're connected with these local businesses. You're connected with the people in the community. So about 6 weeks in, I had people starting to reach out to me and I had businesses saying, hey, I see you doing this awesome thing. This is fantastic. Can I support you? How can I give you some things to give away? Could we do a charity? Could we do a contest? I had a dinner theater. They gave me tickets to the dinner, or 4 tickets to the dinner theater, a limo ride, champagne, and a food basket. It was like $600 or $700 worth of stuff. I'm like, absolutely.
So you were standing outside the sunroof that night. I know you were.
No, I won. Yeah, exactly. So people started giving me stuff. And then what happened was they wanted to promote my stuff. So they were, just like we talked about in our other videos, they started wanting to help me become the expert. And then I started connecting with people in the community. People saw me as that community expert, and people thought I'd lived there my whole life. I literally was there for about 3 months at that time. And then I think it was about 4 months in, I had the mayor of our city, and she reached out to me and said, hey, we're putting together this event for movers and shakers, the top 100 movers and shakers in the area. Would you like to come? We're doing like kind of a brainstorming session. So I was in a room with like the top 100 movers and shakers in the area, connecting, rubbing elbows. I'm like, it changed my whole view on real estate and the direction on it. And it changed my network and the networking skills I had. So it was a great way to reignite my passion for it. So yeah.
So now when you're walking down the street, then people drive by, they honk, they're like, Ryan!
Almost.
Whether that happens physically on the street or it's happening digitally in the street.
It does. And this is now 10 years past since that. And I still have people that I'm connected with and I got referrals from people from that. And I haven't done that in a long time, but it does change how you do it. So I would say if you're thinking about trying to create some value for your community, this is an easy way to do that. And I think, again, we talked about in our other video about highlighting local businesses in videos. You can do that, and it doesn't have to be videos. It could just be showcasing what things are going on and being that go-to person on what's happening in the community. People want to connect with people who know what's going on. And then, like you said, people are going to start giving away stuff. They want to promote you. They want to help connect with you. And they want to be connected to the person who's connected to everyone else. And then you can then connect the dots for people when they're saying, hey, who do you know? How do I get connected with this? Or how do I get in with this people?
So does becoming the community ambassador, does it come with a sash, a special jacket? How do you look
not that I wear in public.
Not that How do you position yourself to look like this guy? I know that you say that you just go out there and do it, but how are you physically broadcasting this? How are you making yourself seen?
So I would say you need a digital space to do that if you're going to do it. And so for me, I had at that time, if I was to do it all over again, I would change it. I used a Facebook group. So I had a Facebook group that people were part of, and then I would promote it. And then I had a blog on WordPress site, and I would post the blogs on there, and then I would share it into the Facebook group. And that was kind of my main platform where people could check out the blog and they could join the Facebook group and then see what was going on in the community. And it was an easy way to just bring a mass group of people into one area and see what you're doing on an ongoing basis.
I found that that doing something similar, but with your newsletter, is wonderful too. So if you want people to open your newsletter every week or every month or however, I think week is better. Yep. Then put, links to 3, 4, 5, 6 things that are happening this weekend or maybe early into next week. So, half can be free and the other half can be cheap. And then maybe one that's cost some money. And then this way they would look forward to it. I had an agent who started doing that years ago, and she was brand new. And so she sent it out to everybody. She took a lot of time to find all those local events. And after about 6 or 8 weeks, she stopped doing it. And then she came to me 2 weeks later and said, 2 weeks ago, I stopped. And she even made her newsletter all about Fun Fridays. It said Fun Fridays with Bernadette. That was the name of it. And so that was the whole point, was to find something to do this weekend. And she said about 2 to 3 weeks after she stopped broadcasting it or sending it out, that she started getting emails and phone calls from people saying, hey, I must have got dropped off your list. Can you please put me back? Now, these are people calling an agent to say, can you please put me back on your newsletter? That's how impactful that is.
Exactly. And this is where you talked about it having as a newsletter. I'm a huge believer in newsletters, but they shouldn't be all real estate related. And this is the mistake that agents make, is they want to just talk about real estate, and people don't care. They care about the things that affect their day-to-day life. They care about what's happening in the community. They care about things that they want to be part of, things that they want to do for fun. And when we can highlight those things and share it, people look forward to that. And this is where, when you partner with local businesses, and then you could have some giveaways and some contests. So we would do that. If there's events, we would do draw for tickets to the upcoming event, or we would say, hey, we're going to be down there, meet us down there. We're going to be down on Friday at at the fair or whatever, come check us out or we'll connect with you. And then you create kind of a community. And that's where you start to position yourself as that ambassador, where people know that you're not just looking for that transaction and you're a real person. So if you can take it from online and then move it to offline, where you get to meet people, and that's where the event side of it can really help, where people see you involved in the community. And it's a great story with that Bernadette, because I think that's you said 6 to 8 weeks or something like that. You said that's exactly the time when everyone gives up. It's usually 1 to 2 months into whatever they're doing. That's the time where they do it for a month or two and they're like, I'm not getting the transaction. And it's that book 6 Feet from Gold or whatever, where it's like you're almost there. And it's that first 2 or 3 months, that's when magic starts to happen. So yeah, I think if that is you and you're doing this and you're struggling, just keep pushing through, because most people are giving up at 4 months, at 6 months. I just recently heard something about a blog or podcasts, and they said the number of people that have created a podcast and how many of them don't put out more than 2 episodes. And it was like 75% of the people don't even put more than 2 podcasts. It was like, you did all the work, you created it, you started, just keep going. And I forget the number. It was like 90 something percent didn't do more than 10 podcasts. It's like, if you just want to be in the top 10%, just be consistent with it.
Yeah, I resemble that comment.
It happens.
Yeah, you're right. And so the community ambassador is a great name for it. For those who despise prospecting, this is a way to do it that's fun.
Exactly.
This is a way to do it where you get to talk about all kinds of topics and meet all kinds of interesting characters. And then the telephone in the morning can be used to follow up with all those interesting characters and conversations that you had out in the real world, rubbing elbows with real people. I love it, Ryan. I'm so happy to hear it.
Yeah, it exactly said it becomes more enjoyable, so you don't dread it. And then you can feel comfortable knowing you're talking to someone who likes you and isn't just thinking you're trying to sell them a house on the other side of it. So just got to do it, though.
You just got to hide your motives.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, if you out there listening to this found value in this here conversation, then I would encourage you to share this video. Give it a thumbs up, or watch another one. Till next time, Ryan, thank you for the expertise. We'll see you on the next side. Bye-bye.